Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here, welcome back to the railway. Got a little bit of an update video for you, good news and bad news. The bad news sort of is that the Wall of Fame is full. It is chock full. It sounds crazy to say because it feels as well. It feels as though I only just started it. It's barely 4 years ago, less than 4 years since I started the Wall of Fame. And it is absolutely full. I cannot believe it. It's a huge wall. I don't know the dimensions. It's at least 3 meters long, and you guys have been able to fill it in such a short time. Now, before I get some comments, yes, there is a section above the O-gauge layout that isn't completely chock full. The reason being the O-gauge locos were snagging on the pictures, so I took them off and put them elsewhere. They haven't been taken down though. They are still there. So I'm going to show you some clips now, a little bit of a montage. So if you've got a picture on the Wall of Fame, hopefully you'll see it and figure out where it is. A lot of people have been asking me to do a Wall of Fame video, so it's high time I did that. If you haven't got a picture on the Wall of Fame and you would like to have one, stay tuned. I will tell you how you can do that going forward, even though I've got the wall completely full. So I started the Wall of Fame in September 2016, and get this, I have a photo from the very first day. This was the first photo ever to go on the wall. Well, it's a drawing, really. It was framed, as you can tell. I put the first ever one in a frame. I'm not entirely sure why. It was a picture by Custard Time Lord, who is the official grandfather of the Wall of Fame. So Custard, I know you do sometimes still watch. Thank you for starting all that off. And from there, really, the wall grew. It was actually truly a wall in those days. Here's the next photo. This was from March 2017. This is when the actual wall, the lower part, was full, and I moved onto the roof. So it actually should be called the roof or ceiling of fame. But there are a lot of pictures on there. I put all of the photos I've got into a folder, and there are over 600 up there, which is crazy, and it looks just amazing. If you stand back and just take it all in, it's fantastic. And when people come up the loft to see the railway or whatnot, they see the Wall of Fame and they're just like, whoa. Yeah, it's crazy. So let's go over it then. Let's take a look at some highlights, because there are some fantastic pieces of original artwork on the Wall of Fame, which I want to show to you. So let's do that. So obviously every photo or drawing up here is fantastic, but here are some of the highlights. This is the first one. I don't actually know who sent this in now, but it did come through my PO box, so it's one of the few pictures up here that are actually drawn and not printed. It's an LNER J50, and you can tell it is because of its weird side tanks, I suppose. All of the riveted detail there. It's almost like an isometric drawing, so I like that one very, very much. So whoever you were, I probably did say your name at the time. There was probably a letter or something with it, but thank you very much for that one, because it is so cool. And it's right in front of me when I come up into the loft, so I often catch sight of that one, and it's become a bit of a favourite. Here's another absolute favourite. This one's from Ishan. I really love it when people reference my videos in their pictures. I know it's a bit self-important, but yeah, this was cool. So they made masks of the N7, I think it was, from my April Fool's live stream. And they did a funny pose outside with it, so I loved those as well. That was very cool. A lot of people like to send in their custom models. Many of them are Thomas models. Sean F sent in this one. I'm not sure who that character is, but it looks very, very cool, and I've got a lot like that. So custom models is a thing, big time. There's a lot of very, very cool models on this wall. Hopefully you will have seen a few as I was panning around, but that's just one of them. And then this one's always been a favourite from Radoslaw Socha. I got this one fairly recently. It's legendary though. This is the Gustav railgun, I think it is, rail cannon, something like that. I think in real life they were the biggest rail-mounted cannons ever produced, and you can see the crazy size of it compared with the Oxford Bosch Buster down in the foreground. I think the thing runs on 2 separate tracks, which is unbelievable. So there are some crazy models on the Wall of Fame, that's for sure. There's also some amazing artists among you. I've got loads of fantastic drawings of different locos. Ethan A, there we go, that's an amazing line drawing. Looks like a Hudson, might not be. And another thing that you guys like to do is produce locomotives in like Sam's Trains liveries. So I've got quite a few of those and I love seeing them. This is one of my favourites, but they're all great. So Thomas D, well done you, I always like to see that one. Another thing people like to do is send me photos of their railway adventures. Here's one from Paul S on a little cart that he's got. It's so cool, is that? But there are a lot of cool photos from all the way around the world, really, from different railways and different places, museums sometimes. A lot of interesting things to see. And if you look really carefully as well, there are photos from other YouTubers as well, or at least one or two. SNDJR7F88, there's one from his. That's his little narrow gauge layout, I think, isn't it? Yes, there's a lot of very, very cool stuff from other YouTubers on here. One thing I do get a lot of is Thomas and Friends fan art, as you can see here, and a lot of them are really good, in fact, way better than I could do, so that's one thing I always love to see. I often get to see some stunning photography as well. I love some of these with the smoke plumes covering up the locos, quite a lot of those, some, again, more skilled photographers than I am. There's lots of locos I've never seen before. I mean, what is this? I'd forgotten I'd got that one, actually. Fascinating. What a strange look. It looks like a clown locomotive. Maybe that's not a serious loco, maybe that is part of a carnival float or something, I don't know, but very, very interesting to see. And then, of course, there are some people that I do recognise, obviously. I do meet people at exhibitions and stuff, and sometimes people, I don't know why, but they do sometimes want to take my picture, and that's fine as well. So there are one or two shots of Muggins here on the wall, but it's all good, it's all good. It just shows how vast this hobby is, and for that, I think it's fantastic. Okay then, now let's talk a bit about the future, because I don't want to close the Wall of Fame. I don't want to have to start refusing people's drawings and things, so I need a way to move on. Well, the good news is, as is the case with most rooms, there is more than one wall. So I'm going to start another wall over here, and I'm going to call it the Wall of Train. Yes, I never did figure out a better name for it. So that one is going to stick, and I'm going to start off with... That is my very own photo, at long last, on the Wall of Train. It is now officially baptised. So there we go, I have my own picture now on the wall. I've never had one, strangely, on the Wall of Fame, but I do on the Wall of Train. Okay, so from the first episode of Sam's Trains Live Season 9, I have some photos. By the time this video goes out, there'll be more to go up. But let's put these on the Wall of Train and get it started properly, shall we? Okay, so that's looking pretty good already. I'm really pleased with how that's coming along. Okay, so if you want to have a picture of your own on the Wall of Train, you can now send them to me at my email address down below. Now, a few things to note. If you've already got a photo on the Wall of Fame, please don't send me another, because space is at a bit of a premium now, and I don't want to have duplicates on there, as much as I do love all of your photos and stuff. The second thing is I'm closing the Wall of Train for 1 week following this video. The reason being basically is crowd control. Last time I did a Wall of Fame video, I just had loads, I must have had 100 submissions, and I was just printing for about a week. So as this video goes out, don't send anything for the Wall of Train for 1 week, and then 1 week after the video's gone out, I will start to print the pictures I get. So don't send them, if you can hear me over there, don't send anything for a week. Anything I get until next week, I won't be printing out, just so that I don't waste the entire Wall of Train straight away. Beyond that, yes please, any original artwork, any photos you've taken yourself would be very, very gratefully received, and they will look fantastic, I know, on the Wall of Train. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you managed to see your picture on the Wall of Fame, if you have sent one in, and yep, hopefully you know now where it is roughly. Thank you very much for your support. Thanks for watching. All of you guys who subscribe and watch Sam's Trains, I really do appreciate you. Couldn't do it without you. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you soon. All right, cheers everybody. Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here. Welcome back to the Railway. Crazy video. It's not a crazy video.